What's going on, everybody? D-Style Boxing here. Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining me on archive. We're going to have a very spontaneous, weird, out of nowhere type show. And the reason for it, just a lot of unexpected shit. So here I am, as promised, still going to deliver a show one way or another. This, of course, is Aftermath. We all know about Usyk's victory over Anthony Joshua. He won the rematch. He won in pretty spectacular fashion. You know what I mean? He did his thing. You know, like we all know he did. You know, now, I don't know if anybody else is gonna come in, so I'll get the headphones on anyway. But we all know that Usyk won at this point, right? But I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit and just kind of uh, give my perspective on a lot of the things that happened. First of all, once again, thanks to anybody tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. I haven't burned solo in a while, and I did send out some links, but I want to burn for a little bit first. Look, first of all, let's talk about the fight, how I felt going into that fight. Those that don't know, shout out to Remy. I appreciate the support, brother. He says, "Yo, how's it going?" At the Before the fight, I felt like AJ could make some adjustments and possibly win. I felt that way after the first fight. But I did say I'm gonna favor Usyk to win, right? I wasn't confident in Robert Garcia being a trainer. Shout out to Bruce Gass, how's it going? I wasn't confident in like in him going into the rematch so fast with a new trainer like that. And more often than not, when a guy gets outboxed in a fight, more often than not, they lose the rematch, right? Just the way it is. The guy could come back from if you get knocked out, you could come back and win, just avoid the big hammer or something. But when you get outboxed throughout in a 12 round contest, it is not the same, right? It's hard to overcome that, especially with somebody like Usyk. You see, early in the fight, I also said, let me just say this real quick. I was hearing the rumors that Usyk was putting on muscle, and I saw some photos, and then I was like, if that dude is putting on weight, that's not going to be a good thing, right? Turns out, really no difference. I mean, he looked a little more defined, a little less bloated coming into at least at the weigh-in, coming into this one, but nothing major. Like Joshua came in a little heavier, but I was like, you know what? Like at that point, I was confident in my Usyk pick. I tweeted out, I got Usyk UD. That's what I believe is going to happen. And that is what happened. Hit my like button, guys. Hit my like button. Share this video on all your social media platforms. By the way, hit that bell button so you're notified when I come on at random times like this. You never know. The bell will let you know. But early on, I have to be honest, Anthony Joshua surprised me a little bit. Like I thought rounds one, I give round one to Usyk, but I was like, you know what? Okay, I could see some of what Josh is doing here. The pressure was there, a lot of mid-range pressure, making Usyk move a lot more. Usyk wasn't as accurate early in the fight. I felt like rounds 2, 3 were also close, but I personally gave them to Joshua, but they were close. In the middle rounds, Usyk kind of figured something out. Like rounds 4, 5, I felt were competitive, but Usyk took control, and that's what happened. Like all these weeks of preparation that Joshua did, like by round 4, Usyk figured it out. You know what I mean? And right, well, what I'm giving you right now is just like a rundown of my live tweets as I was watching the fight. You know what I mean? The stamps are there, right? But Usyk won this fight because while Joshua's good and he's proven to be good at making adjustments from one fight to the other, he is a student of the game. Usyk is good at making adjustments from one round to the other. And that was just too much for Anthony Joshua to overcome. And I felt and I don't even know if it was a mistake, because the more I think about different avenues Anthony Joshua could have taken in this fight, the more I realized this guy couldn't have won this fight. He couldn't have won. Like, if Joshua, like I felt after round 4, I'm like, okay, Joshua, you got what you could out of just boxing him, but now you got to start taking more risks. You got to get aggressive, get more physical. But if Joshua did that, you saw he was out of energy by the end of the fight again. It wasn't as bad. He managed his energy better in this fight. But what he did was the best he could do, I feel. But that's just how I came out of this fight. If he would have been more aggressive earlier, Usyk would have landed more. He would have punished him more. And I think Joshua gets stopped late. That's how I feel. So, like, while I was saying live, Joshua got to take some risks. You can't just keep doing this. At the end of the day, he was putting money in the bank with the body shots. He more than tripled, I believe, his body shots landed on Usyk. And once Usyk started slowing down, obviously the body shots became more prevalent. I know I saw people saying, but he should have started going to the body earlier. Okay, but the problem with Joshua was going to the body, he was getting countered upstairs, right? And Joshua cannot walk through Usyk's punches. He feels them, right? So he had to be more strategic. And I think he did start landing them later in the fight, especially in the 9th. I was watching the 9th round. I'm not going to go as far as to say, this is over. But I thought to myself that this could be a game changer. He hurt him to the body. Like, Usyk's reeling here. I never seen Usyk in trouble like this. But he comes out the next round, and this time Usyk adjusted, but not just with this, not just with his IQ. He adjusted with tenacity. He adjusted with heart. He adjusted with, like, determination. That's what he adjusted with. Like, he came out with all the heart of Ukraine and was like, I am not going to go down here. I will overcome this shit. Like, he proved he's a very, very mentally tough motherfucker. And it was not going to be broken in that fight. I don't think it's possible to break Usyk. I don't. I think that dude will get killed before he gets broken. Like, that's just how I came off. That's just how he strikes me. And the pressure, I've always said pressure bust pipes. But these pipes didn't burst. These pipes didn't burst. Shout out to HLD, Remy, Bruce Goss, George. All you guys, how's it going, guys? Hit my like button. These pipes did, like, Usyk's got some pipes. Like, those pipes are made of titanium or some shit, right? They got no bolts or nothing. Like this dude's got some serious pipes because all that pressure didn't matter. He overcame it. You know what I mean? And he proved he could box on the move if needed, and he could back up AJ if needed. And that's what he did. He took control with something else, something that's here. So something that you cannot be taught. What Usyk did round 10, you cannot be taught those things. It's not something you just learn. It's something that you have in tu corazón. It's something you're just born with, something you just have, something to do with your upbringing, something to do with your mentality, that metal mentality, that metallic mentality. This dude cannot be broken. You're going to have to kill that man because you ain't going to break him. So he came out round 10 and he took it to Joshua. He took a big right hand and he kept coming. He's like, I have firewalls. I have my footwork. I have my boxing ability. But if I have to bring out my heart, I will. That's what he did in that fight. And I think it shocked AJ. AJ had a smirk on his face after round 9. He thought he had him. 2-time world champion. He's been there before with many fighters, and he thought, I got him. Didn't have him. You know what I mean? I gave Usyk round 10, round 11, and I got to be honest, round 12. I think Usyk took the fight in those championship rounds, and he showed everybody why he's the world champion. He showed everybody why he's a road warrior. That's Usyk, the road warrior. That's Usyk. Alexander Usyk. You put respect on Alexander's name. Stop calling him Alexander. You put respect on his name. Don't go around saying Alexander. Like stop it. All right? Stop it. I'm just saying. Remy, that's crazy. Jab didn't miss at all. Congrats, Usyk. He was putting punches together, punches and bunches. When Joshua would have success, he started coming back with something else himself. The straight left was on point. He started going to the body himself. You know what I mean? Like he's like, okay, you're going to go to the body? I'll go to the body too. Let's go. He said, let's go. And he took it from him. Sometimes there's fights where guys study film. They. Like, let me tell you something about Usyk. All right? Let me tell you something about Usyk. Technique and boxing ability is just not going to be enough to beat this man. All right? So I'm just saying, you're going to need something else, bro. Because he will show you his tenacity. He will show you his will to win. He will do that. He's built different. Usyk's never had anything handed to him the way shit was handed to Joshua. I like Joshua. I still consider myself a fan of Anthony Joshua, but let's be honest. Anthony Joshua, I mean, it's like if you were to make a movie, it's a random movie. You've seen the movies, and you want to. If there was like generic boxing toys, let me use that example instead. If they were selling generic boxing toys at the store, you know, and they had heavyweight champion on it, like an Anthony Joshua, where you would pop out of a fucking box. You know what I mean? That's what will come out. An action figure that looks like Anthony Joshua is what will come out as the heavyweight champion of the world, right? He's a cookie cutter, like standard thought that people have, like a lot of casuals, people that don't watch boxing, when they think the heavyweight champion of the world, and you show them Anthony Joshua, like they believe it. Like oh, totally. That's him. You know what I mean? He's always been that cookie cutter, like, you know, and I don't want to use the word fake at all, but he's been molded to be a certain way. And he's always had it his way. Always. Now, he's obviously never gone to Burger King, so that's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is London, Olympics, gold medalist, right? Had it his way. You know what I mean? Like he there in his home country, in London. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Not his fault that the London Olympics were there, but they just, you know, fate just you know, did him a favor. And then, of course, you move on. Like, first title, got to win it off of Martin. Like, I mean, they gave him that title with a bow on it. Like, that was a gift. Like, here you go. They have to go there and win the fight. I'm not saying it was a gift decision. He went in there and beat the shit out of him. But like Martin should have never been a champion if we keep it real. Like, you know what I mean? He got to fight He didn't have to go to Germany and fight one of the Klitschko brothers or nothing like that, like Fury did. He had to fight him at home, No, he still had to fight. He still had to earn the W. I'm not taking it away from him. I'm just saying it was always there for him, always. All right. The one time he left, it wasn't the only time, but one of the times he left, he went to Madison Square Garden in the United States, and he got a last minute replacement in Andy Ruiz, and he got stopped. Right? Hey, no harm, no foul. He came back. He came back and he avenged it and all that. But I still remember Chisora's attitude afterwards, like, "Oh, this was in London. This wouldn't have happened," and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't know about that. Look, that's too entitled to me. But look at the compare and contrast, right? Look at Usyk. Usyk has not only won all his big fights on the road, he's done it at his opponent's backyard, including Anthony Joshua. That's what Usyk's always done. Went to his backyard and we came to your neighborhood, right? And he mugged you in front of the whole world to see. He mugged your titles away from you. He mugged them. Like he just in the middle of your hometown, in front of your people. He showed up and was like, "Yo, give me those belts. They're mine." No, you can't do that. Yeah, I can. Like, give me those belts. You know what I mean? That's what he did. He snatched the shit out of them, like those belts. That's what he did. Javier Logan, how's it going, brother? I'll get to the chat in a little bit, guys. Bear with me. But he snatched those belts away from him is what he did. That's what he did. And then they're like, okay, let's do the rematch in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, right? I remember people saying that Saudi Arabia is like AJ's home away from home. That's basically like his vacation home. Well, he beat you there too. And then you add to the fact that Usyk's country is at war. He doesn't know the fate nor the future of his country. His people were watching. A country ravaged by war is watching this fight. Don't talk to me about pressure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk about pressure, but the pressures that Anthony Joshua went through, I'm sure he has, because there is some level of pressure when you're fighting at that level, of course. But who do you think's going to dig deeper? Who do you think's going to find that shit inside of them that they weren't even sure they had, but they were going to bring it out one way or another? Who do you think's going to win that fight? Like it's real simple, guys. If you're in a foxhole, if you're in a war, who do you want in your foxhole? You want Usyk or Joshua? If anybody who keeps it real, it's gonna say Usyk. I don't care. I don't care. You could be the biggest Anthony Joshua fan in the world. If you were, who would you want in your foxhole fighting with you? You want Usyk or Joshua? Not even about whether one's a good answer or not. It's just which one's better. Of course, Usyk was going to dig deep. Of course, Usyk was going to dig deep into, go into dark tunnels where there's no light at the end of the tunnel, but he was going to keep going. And he's going to go that little extra. He's going to have that little mental edge over AJ because he's never had it easy. He's never had anything handed to him. He's always had to go like you know what I mean. He never had anywhere to turn to. It was always something he needed to do. When Usyk was first offered to fight, he was the mandatory. He didn't have to sign a rematch clause, but he did. Why? Because he knew he was going to win. That's why. Okay? He knew he was going to win the fight. So that's why he did it. A rematch, no problem. Losing isn't an option for Usyk. I don't think losing has ever crossed his mind, to be honest with you. Like, that guy doesn't think about losing. He just doesn't. So he's gone. Even his tune-ups are in other people's backyards. Even his tune-ups are in other people's backyards. This dude's built different. He's just built different. I'm just saying. Don't underestimate. Don't underestimate. And people will laugh. I know what people do. A lot of boxing fans get cynical, right? And they say, "Oh, these things they just happen in movie. This isn't a movie." And now Usyk's got the skills. Like, don't get me wrong. Usyk got skills for days, but he proved to be very dangerous for anybody after that 9th round, because he proved, besides the tenacity and all that, but he proved he's got like a determination, which does matter, which is a thing. There's a lot of fighters that have lost fights because they had no determination. They didn't have it in them to dig deep, right? They didn't have it in them. Like, they don't want to walk through the fire. Usyk walked through the fire, like, with no hesitation. It's like, I ain't gonna lose this fight. I'm not gonna lose. We hear it all the time. We see skilled fighters all the time that were not willing to walk through the fire. We see it all the time. Zab Judah, skills for days. He just wasn't willing to walk through that fucking fire. All right? So he started getting countered. He just kind of broke down, got in a shell. How many times have you seen fighters pack it in? They're like, whatever. They have a little silent agreement with their opponent. They just, they don't want to go for it. He proved very dangerous. You're gonna have to kill this dude because you're going to break his will. You're either going to have to knock him out unconscious or have a ref stop it, obviously, so you don't have to go to kill. But he ain't going to quit. His determination, his will to win is not going to be, like, it ain't going to be faltered. It ain't going to be minimized. This dude isn't going to stop. And not in a zombie way either, in a Joe Joyce, I'm just taking shots, walking forward way either. He's doing it in a very smart, calculated way, though. And that's what makes Usyk dangerous. I'm not too confident. That Fury beats Usyk. Like, I'm not. At the moment, my brain's telling me, Usyk should. Fury should win, but does he win? Can this dude walk? Can he keep walking? Can Fury get up for it? He's going to have to get up for it. A lazy, out of shape Fury's not going to win this fight. It isn't going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. He's got to get in shape. Here's another thing. If you don't got a ref, that's nice, Haplo, but you said Donaire was going to beat anyway, so you're not right all the time, are you, Haplo? So you could have your opinion, but, we're not right all the time. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Didn't you say Donaire was too big and strong for Inoue? Is that what you said, Haplotype? Calling you out, Haplotype. Oh, Inoue's overrated. He's going to get beat by Donaire. Oh, yeah. He's big and strong. He's got a big left hook. He's going to beat him. Well, what happened? So all I'm saying is, do not. You were rooting for Donaire. You said he was going to win, brother. You said he was going to WIN it. That's what you said. He said he's too big and strong, and he's got a big left hook for the 5'2" Japanese dude. Is what you said. Anyway, maybe I'm exaggerating, but you did say he was going to win. But here's what I'll say: Usyk, and Haplo. I'm like surprised that you're not impressed with his will to win, like showing a lot of character in the ring, and I'm kind of surprised about that. I don't know. It's it is what it is, but I will say that if they get a ref that breaks it up right away, like if Tyson Fury isn't allowed to turn this shit into a Greco-Roman wrestling match, that's going to be a tough fight for Fury to win. Mark my fucking words. If he's not allowed to just hold and grab and do judo throws and headlock and you know what I mean, and get him in bear hugs and hug and kiss and lick blood and all that weird shit. Like if he's not allowed to do all that shit, right? If Tyson Fury isn't allowed to smother his titties on the face of Usyk, if he ain't allowed to do all that shit, it's gonna be a much tougher fight for Usyk. I promise you that. Right? Shout out Dragon Style, the original boxing YouTube, one of the original boxing YouTube channels. I listened to you since the early on YouTube. I'm 43 years old. You 78, blood are the last of the boxing Mohicans of the pre-2010 era. Man, well, we got Haplo. Haplo's here. Shout out to Haplo type. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cali. Shout out to Joe Habib. Still around. You know what I mean? We got to shout them out. Haplo was like, oh, he's too big. Donaire's too big and strong for little itty bitty little like little bitty in the way. He's an itty bitty little dude. Yeah, I'm just saying. Unless you want to make you were capping just because Rachel Donaire was on the panel on H Money's. Unless you want to make you were capping now, just because were you starstruck? Dudes got all starstruck and they started picking Donaire to win. That shit was crazy. The whole panel, oh, Donaire's gonna win. Like what? Win, bruh? What do you mean? Anyway, I'm just saying. Anyway, I never seen anything like that. Like a whole panel was confidently saying Donaire's gonna win. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Shout out to Major Key Boxing in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, Apple was saying like Donaire's hook is gonna decapitate, like in a way, like whoa, like calm down there, buddy. Man, Apple Type he's gonna make a video, his yearly video. We've been waiting for a video. I mean, shit, it's about time. Shit, if I inspired you to make a video, I did something right. Saying, I finally did something right, ladies and gentlemen. God damn, you know what I mean? So once again, shout out to Major Key Boxing. Lennox was best. Apple, like this is crazy. I'm gonna make a video about you, like about time. But shit. But I mean, you can jump on right now, Apple. Shit, I don't give a shit if you want a link. Like, jump on right now. But if I send you the link, then you're not gonna make the video. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. It's like a catch-22. You know, I'm just saying. Now, granted, if they get a Steve Smoger, like they get like somebody who's gonna allow like fucking Tyson Fury to turn it to a sumo wrestling match, then yeah, of course he's gonna win. You know what I mean? Like Usyk can't like grapple and wrestle and do sumo wrestling and judo and MMA like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all that shit with Tyson Fury's titties in his face. I mean, it's like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like if Tyson Fury is allowed to, turn this shit into some Sambo shit, right? Then of course he's gonna win. Like he'll destroy Usyk if they allow him to just maul the dude. But if he needs to box and he's not allowed to hold, which isn't a lot to ask. I mean, it is a sport of boxing. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, holding is an infraction. Like, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, or you don't know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like I'm just saying. Usyk's an undisputed cruiserweight champ. I thought you loved undisputed dudes. You're not keeping it 100, Haplo. Like, you're not keeping it 100. I was listening to this morning to Major Keys. I was supposed to be on the show, but couldn't make it last night. I couldn't even do the show yesterday, but we'll be back on Monday next week. Shout out to Boxing Dollar. Says Zurdo Bibble set. Can't wait. Absolutely. Can't wait either. Shout out to Longley Boxing. Like what's with like the Usyk don't have a shot thing? Like what is it with like if Usyk gets a ref, like if he's like, no, I want a ref, it's gonna break it up when this dude starts like fucking doing his, Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all this other shit, right? I'm just saying. It's a tough fight if he needs to box him, it's a tough fight. So we'll see. Shout out to Impala. How's it going? Haplo needs to jump on. Haplo jump on. He might be busy, or he might just make a video about it. Like, I'm gonna. By the way, why me and Calix? Haplo, like everyone is giving Usyk all types of props. You know what I mean? Like props for days. And why shouldn't they? He's a unified world champion. Why wouldn't they give him credit? He was an undisputed cruiserweight champion. He won all his fights on the road, on his opponent's backyard. How is anybody not impressed by that? All the talking boxing fans do, no, that's everybody this and everybody's coddled and nobody wants to fight the best and nobody likes to travel. It's a world championship, not just your backyard and this and that. But no, nobody wants to give Usyk any credit, brother. What's going on? Where's the credit? Like, if Tyson Fury is not allowed to put his tits, smother his fucking man titties all over fucking Usyk's face and hold them and headlock them and toss them around. And I mean, it's hard to wrestle a bear. You know what I mean? Like, that dude's like a fucking human bear, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's what fucking Tyson Fury is. I'm just saying. Shout out to Chief Funky. Lennox was bets. How's it going? I want to see a referee enforce a boxing match, a fist fight. That's what I want to see. I would still favor Fury. I just think it would be a more interesting fight. Being honest. Okay, well, you just said it. What's Haplotype? Does anybody understand what Haplotype's arguing? He said Usyk is great. Okay, that's it. I never said it would be. Well, I never said I would favor him to beat Fury. Is that what I said? I said he could win. I'm just saying, like, I think Usyk has 3 belts. He's got some leverage. And Usyk's never gotten it his way, ever. Is it too much to ask to get a ref that's going to enforce a fist fight? It's not too much to ask now. I'm just saying, like, go watch the Cunningham fight before he started the mauling. Go take a look. See what happened. If he's not allowed to maul, I'm just saying. Who wants anybody to maul anyway? Let's mail. Let's box. Let's fight. All right? If y'all want to watch Muay Thai, I mean, there's a sport called Muay Thai, guys, where guys, they hold and they throw knees and elbows and all that good stuff, right? They already have a sport for that. If you guys want to watch that, they already have a sport like like MMA. Like if you want to watch grappling and headlocks and and throws and dudes licking each other's blood and all that. Like you could go watch MMA. You could go watch that shit if that's what you want to watch. Yeah, you guys see that, by the way? The dude licking the other dude's blood. Like this shit was crazy. Let me pull this up. It's like gross as fuck, bro. Honestly, all right. I'm not gonna pull it up because it's UFC. They'll fucking copyright me. So what the Chisora fight was only a second. He was getting acclimated to the weight up, though. It is what it is. I'm just saying. Go watch the Wallen fight, where Fury was all bloodied up. One more good shot right here, and they might stop the fight. So it's what it is. Now look, this right here. Wilder knocked Fury down so many times and hits way harder than Usyk. Wilder, compared to Usyk, is a one-trick pony. He had no follow-up. He had nothing else he could do. Like, I mean, I'm just saying. Like, Usyk's going to do different things in there. I'm just saying. Like it's a different type of fight. Yeah, when the right hand landed flush, he hurt Fury and dropped him. Okay, cool. But that was the problem. He didn't have anything else. Usyk doesn't have a chance unless Fury just doesn't train. Well, if Fury doesn't train, he's mentally weak. He's not made for this like all the greats or like Usyk, and it'll be his fault. Training is part of fighting. It's part of being a fighter. You know what I mean? If he can't do it, if he can't be consistent with it, he just isn't as good as people say he is then. That I will say. The fight starts at training. That's the start of the fight. Training camp is the start of the war, right? You can't lose a war and be like, oh, man, we only lost because we didn't prepare for the war. We didn't prepare for the upcoming war. That's the only reason we lost. Yeah, you lost the war. You don't prepare for war. You don't get to use it as a crutch, or you don't get to say, oh, we didn't prepare for it. No. It's worse than losing at your best. It's worse. It's worse because you're so mentally weak. You're scared of being at your best and losing. That's what that means. I want everybody to listen to me very closely. Motherfuckers that don't train properly and come in out of shape and lose, right? And then use that as a crutch. Oh, if I would have trained, I would have been better. No. They were scared of trying their best and finding out the truth. That shit's ironclad, too. I've always believed that. That's just crutch talk. So you want to do crutch talk? You keep doing that crutch talk. I don't give a shit. You don't come prepared? Too bad. That means you're too scared of trying your best and find out if you're good enough or not. You want that crutch. You want that like little extra, like, oh, well, if I did come in shape, I would have won, though. Oh, it was close, and I didn't even train. I would have won if I trained. Like, we don't know that. So how about, how about that? That's part of the mix, though, right? How can you be so confident, Haplo, that Fury's going to win? If obviously you're not even that confident he's going to train properly. You don't even sound that confident the dude's going to come in shape, but you're confident he's going to win. You don't even know if the army's going to properly prepare for war, but you're confident they're going to win the war. Something that's not adding up here, Haplo. Something's not adding up, Haplo. I'm just saying. I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying that if Fury doesn't train, he will lose. All he needs to do is train and he will win. Haplotop, you're not giving me a Da Vinci Code here. Like, I know exactly what you're saying. What I'm saying is that you are unknowingly already having a built-in excuse. So if Usyk wins, you're going to say what? Fury's going to say what? Thank you. Okay, if that's a wild card, you can't be that confident he will win. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is my issue with a lot of people when it comes to Fury. They're so confident about stuff, but then they have all that little extra shit on the side. Like oh, but if he, I mean, he'll lose if he doesn't train. Why would he even, like, nobody says that about Usyk. No one has ever said, oh man, Usyk, if he trains, he should be all right. Like, nobody says that about Usyk. People know dude's going to show up. They know he's going to show up. That shit's ironclad. You know you're getting it. T-Style doesn't know what I'm saying. I just repeated what you said. Come on, Aplo. Come on. Usyk won't get caught in a hug fest either. It's a good that must happen to answer all questions. All I know is this. It's a good fight. Yes, I agree. I want to see Usyk fight Fury. I don't want to live in a world where we're guessing, where like people win fantasy fights in their head, and Fury would win anyway, whatever. If he came in shape, like, you know what I mean, like if he trained, like, you know what I mean, like well, if he don't fight him, he's not training for the fight, so it's whatever. I want to see the fight sign, and that's it. Haplotype says, shout out to YB, Young Billionaire Boxing. How's it going, brother? Haplo says, bro, I know Fury will beat Usyk. That doesn't mean I don't like Usyk or acknowledge that he's a great fighter. Oh, well, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You think he'll stop him? Whatever. G-Funk is confident. You guys have a right to do that. Like, you guys aren't going out on a limb picking Fury. I'm sorry. Like, all I'm saying is that I think Usyk could give him a good fight. I think he could possibly beat him. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not over here like you're the one that came out with the language, Haplo. Like, oh, you're over here sucking up Usyk, and like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying. You're trying to check me, but I'm checkmating you back. Like, it is what it is. Like, check. Oh no, checkmate. You know, like, it is what it is. Shout out to Team Batman Boxing. Plus, I've been noticing a trend though. Like, there's been people that have been doubting Usyk, and he proves them wrong over and over. So they're just picking against Usyk all the time because he keeps proving them wrong. Like because they want to be right eventually about the guy, right? I'm just saying, like we can't keep picking against the dude. Like, you can't just count him out over and over and over again, and then like keeps proving y'all wrong. You know, where are the people that said like Chisora's going to be too much to knock him out? I don't see them anywhere. Where are the people saying, oh, Josh is going to knock him out easy, and like what? That didn't happen, right? So I'm just saying, be ready, ladies and gentlemen. Be ready. I want to talk about the mental breakdown of Anthony Joshua after the fight. Look, I'm not here to shit on AJ or anything like that, but look, first of all, I liked how so the dude is walking back like towards the tunnel. You know what I mean? He's walking back towards the tunnel. You know, like, let me just read this really quick before I go to the start. Haplotype says, I said you and Couch have been all exaggerating and Usyking over a pretty good but not great performance. He looked worse, not better. He was slower and less dynamic than usual. Okay. Dude threw more punches than Errol Spence does in a fight. Like the activity rate is up. It is like off the charts when it comes to heavyweight boxing, modern day heavyweight boxing. And people just walk around like that. That's like, oh yeah, totally. Everyone just does that at heavyweight. Like, no, actually, no. People don't just do that at heavyweight. They don't just throw almost 800 punches in a fight. I think his speed was just fine, and I think he beat a pretty decent, former world champion and a very determined Anthony Joshua. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? But with that said, speaking of Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua, I don't know, like, man, you could do a whole, like, study on this. Like, so the fight ends, and at first it looks like he's accepting it. He's being a good sport, and at least from the body language, and he goes over to the corners, and then I don't know, like the more and more he's talking to people in the middle of that ring, like you could see him get visibly irate, right? What looked like a standard going to the corner, shaking their hands, like I don't know what happened to him. He just like he started escalating. He didn't even give a proper greeting to Russ Abner. He just kind of went back to the corner. He starts acting up, right? He gets out of the ring. This was like WWE type shit. Like it's almost like a script. Like he walks, he's almost gonna enter the tunnel. He looks back, right? Then he darts back to the ring. Like I'm just like, what is happening? He grabs the mic, he grabs the belts, he grabs everything he could grab. And he cuts a promo. Like I'm like, it was funny. I laughed. But I was laughing at him. I wasn't laughing with him. I was laughing at him. Oh, I feel sorry for him. What do you mean you're sorry? You feel sorry for him? Dude grabs the belt, grabs the flag, the Ukrainian flag. He cuts a promo. He gives a speech and nobody asked for. Okay, I study Ukraine. Dude, nobody cares. You know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit. And all I gotta say is he eventually did give Usyk his props, and he's a great fighter. He did the hip hip hooray and all that, and he did apologize, by the way. He apologized, I think it was yesterday, but that was a very, very unfortunate thing that happened. And while Joshua is gonna obviously his PR team got on it probably and all that. Just a couple of things I want to address. There's some people saying that, like, let me give you guys an example. So everybody remembers how we acted after the Ruiz loss, right? Everybody does. He was too happy, or you're too happy, or to this, or to that. He had his arm over Randy, all that good stuff, right? But then in this fight, he does something completely different. Like, you know what I mean? Like he did what he did. Like he lost it. So I'm seeing this a lot. Like, oh, you guys criticized him when he did this, but now you're criticizing him that he did what you asked him to do. Nobody asked Anthony Joshua to hog the mic, to cut a promo, to hog the limelight from the actual winner, to grab the belts that are not his and throw them in the ground, to basically have the flag taken from him because he took it from Usyk, right? And basically act passive aggressive as fuck. Nobody, and I mean nobody, asked Anthony Joshua to do that when he lost Anthony Ruiz. Nobody. Like there's this, and then there's this. They're both extremes. Can you meet me somewhere over here? You know what I mean? Somewhere in the middle. Somewhere. And I empathize with AJ. Look, I mean, I'm sure this loss was tough. I'm sure it was. When you fight for everything and you give it your all and you come up short, it's tough. All right? And AJ came, and I'll respect him. He didn't come with any crutches. He didn't come with any built-in excuses or nothing. He came in and gave it his all, and he didn't quite win. It's whatever. But I just wasn't a fan of what happened. You know what I mean? I'm not. But cutting promos and AJ 316 says, you just whooped my ass and all that stuff, not for it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Karma Serene. How's it going? So I'm not a fan of that. Some of the quick thoughts here. There is look, now that at the bias is really quick. I'm down with Navarrete fighting that level of fighter, man. Please fight somebody. Okay, can you just fight somebody, please? All right. I'm also done like I don't like. I guess it was a last minute replacement, but even the Broner fight, like Showtime needs to step up with these fights, bro. Like it was an okay fight, Figueroa and Lipinets, but it was whatever to me. Okay, shout out to the Dominican fighters doing their thing, and I thought the fights were good, but I don't know. Now, it's time to fight somebody, bro. Like I'm just saying, I'm trying to step it up. Like let's see him fight Lara or something. You know, let's see him fight Vargas, and I don't want to hear his side of the street and whatever. Make the fucking fights happen, bro. Like PBC don't even got dates, bro. PBC, like you'll be helping PBC if Top Rank can put on that card. Okay, they don't got the dates. They're running out of money, bro. They're cutting their budget. These PBC guys are gonna have to cross streets and fight if they want to fight. You know what I mean? It is what it is. AJ is the zone. Eddie hype job. He's good, but it would not be Wilder, King Fury. People always going to have opinions in sports. Just move on. AJ will continue to be great. Yeah, absolutely. That was an embarrassing speech AJ made, in my opinion. It was not a good look to me. It showed that AJ has insecurity. Where are all the Twitter weirdos that were saying Fury was scared of Usyk? He hasn't signed yet, brother. Got to sign on the dotted line now. You know what I mean? Nando Yama, saludos, old man. 90% of the Northern California fights were like that. Dudes run in their mouths, and I beat them down. Guns come out. Damn. What's going on over there? AJ just got his head punched around for 12 rounds. Of course, he's going to be talking nonsense. Well, that's another good point. Was he thinking clearly? Was a little concussed? I think he was, to be honest. He looked out at his feet in that 11th round a couple times. He did. And but you know, credit to him, he stayed up, but it's what it is, you know what I mean? It's whatever. So but those are my thoughts, guys. I have a lot of stuff to do today. So I needed to do this early. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Make sure you hit the bell button, hit the subscribe, and I'll catch you guys till next time. This is D-Style Boxing. I'm out. Peace.